Historical figures who changed the world. Throughout history, certain individuals have shaped the world in ways that continue to influence our lives today. From revolutionaries to scientists, their contributions have left a lasting legacy. Here are some of the most influential figures who changed the course of history. 1. Albert Einstein. Visual. Einstein writing on a chalkboard, E=mc² equation appearing on screen. Narrator. First on our list is Albert Einstein, the physicist whose theory of relativity revolutionized our understanding of space, time, and energy. His work paved the way for modern physics and technology, including GPS and nuclear energy. Interesting fact, Einstein was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1921, not for relativity, but for his explanation of the photoelectric effect, which was crucial for the development of quantum mechanics. 2. Mahatma Gandhi. Visual. Gandhi leading the Salt March, peaceful protests. Narrator. Mahatma Gandhi, the leader of India's independence movement, demonstrated the power of nonviolent resistance. His philosophy inspired civil rights movements across the world, proving that change can be achieved through peace and determination. Key achievements. Led the Salt March in 1930 against British taxation, advocated for unity among different religious communities, inspired leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. and Nelson Mandela. 3. Martin Luther King Jr. Visual. King delivering his "I Have a Dream" speech, civil rights protests. Narrator. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. fought tirelessly for racial equality in the United States. His leadership in the civil rights movement led to the end of segregation and major legal reforms, promoting justice and human rights. Famous quote, "I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal." 4. Marie Curie. Visual. Curie in her laboratory, working with radioactive materials. Narrator. Marie Curie broke barriers in science and gender equality. As the first woman to win a Nobel Prize, she pioneered research on radioactivity, which led to advancements in medicine and the development of X-ray technology. Her legacy. First person to win 2 Nobel Prizes in different scientific fields, physics and chemistry. Developed mobile X-ray units used in World War I. Her research laid the foundation for cancer treatments using radiation therapy. 5. Nelson Mandela. Visual. Mandela walking free from prison, addressing a large crowd. Narrator. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison fighting against apartheid in South Africa. His perseverance led to the end of racial segregation and his election as the country's first black president, symbolizing hope and reconciliation. Interesting fact, Mandela was not only a politician but also a boxer in his early years, believing in the discipline and resilience that sports provided. 6. Leonardo da Vinci. Visual. The Mona Lisa flying machine sketches. Narrator. A true Renaissance man, Leonardo da Vinci was a painter, inventor, and scientist. His ideas were centuries ahead of his time, influencing both the art world and technological innovations. Famous inventions and works. Designed early concepts of helicopters and tanks. Studied human anatomy extensively. Painted The Last Supper and Mona Lisa, 2 of the most famous artworks in history. 7. Mother Teresa. Visual. Mother Teresa helping the poor and sick. Narrator. Mother Teresa dedicated her life to helping the poor and sick. Her humanitarian work earned her the Nobel Peace Prize and inspired countless others to serve those in need. Her impact. Founded the Missionaries of Charity, which operates worldwide, cared for the sick, especially those suffering from leprosy and HIV/AIDS. Beatified and later canonized as Saint Teresa of Calcutta. 8. Isaac Newton. Visual. Apple falling from a tree. Newton's laws of motion diagrams. Narrator. Isaac Newton formulated the laws of motion and gravity, laying the foundation for modern physics. His discoveries continue to influence scientific research and technological advancements. Key contributions. Developed calculus. Created Newton's 3 laws of motion. Built the first practical reflecting telescope. 9. Rosa Parks. Visual. Rosa Parks sitting on a bus, civil rights protests. Narrator: Rosa Parks became an icon of resistance when she refused to give up her seat to a white passenger in 1955, igniting the Montgomery bus boycott and fueling the civil rights movement. Her impact led to a Supreme Court ruling that segregation on public buses was unconstitutional, inspired other activists to push for equal rights. Received the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1996. 10. Thomas Edison. Visual: Edison working in his lab, first light bulb glowing. Narrator: Thomas Edison's inventions, including the phonograph and the electric light bulb, transformed the way we live. His work in electrical power distribution shaped modern society. Interesting fact: Edison held over 1,000 patents, making him one of the most prolific inventors in history. Closing scene. Visual: montage of all figures fading into a world map with their names appearing. Narrator: These individuals, through their courage, intelligence, and perseverance, have changed the world. Their legacies remind us that one person can truly make a difference. Who do you think has had the greatest impact on history? Let us know in the comments. Ranking of the most influential persons in history is a 1978 book by the American white nationalist author Michael H. Hart, published by his father's publishing house. It was his first book and was reprinted in 1992 with revisions. It is a ranking of the 100 people who, according to Hart, most influenced human history. 3 or 5, 6. Unlike various other rankings at the time, Hart was not attempting to rank on greatness as a criterion, but rather whose actions most changed the course of human history. Summary: the book consists of 100 entries as well as an appendix of honorable mentions. Each entry is a short biography of the person, followed by Hart's thoughts on how this person was influential and changed the course of human history. He gave additional credit for importance for people whose actions Hart felt were unusual, unlikely, or ahead of their time compared to a hypothesized course of history had this person not lived. Founders and shapers of successful religions were among the most influential in Hart's view, as these shaped many people's lives quite strongly over a long period of time. The first person on Hart's list is the Islamic prophet Muhammad. Hart asserted that Muhammad was supremely successful in both the religious and secular realms, being responsible for both the foundations of Islam as well as the early Muslim conquests uniting the Arabian Peninsula and eventually a wider caliphate after his death. Hart also believed that Muhammad played an unusually singular and personal role in the development of Islam. 9. 10. The development of Christianity, by contrast, has its influence split between Jesus' initial teachings and foundational work and Paul the Apostle, who played a pivotal role in the early spread of Christianity, as well as distinguishing its doctrines and practices from Judaism and the other Greek and Roman religions of the time period. 11. Gautama Buddha, Confucius, and Moses are all placed highly as well due to their role in establishing religions. One of the most notable omissions was Abraham Lincoln, which Hart relegated to the honorary mentions in the appendix. Changes in the 1992 revision include the rankings of figures associated with communism being lowered after the revolutions of 1989, such as Vladimir Lenin and Mao Zedong, and the introduction of Mikhail Gorbachev. Hart took sides in the Shakespearean authorship issue and replaced William Shakespeare with Edward de Vere, 17th Earl of Oxford in the 1992 version. Hart also substituted Niels Bohr and Henri Becquerel with Ernest Rutherford. Henry Ford was promoted from the honorary mentions list, replacing Pablo Picasso. Finally, various rankings were reordered, although no one listed in the top 10 changed their position.